In this video, we're going to focus on matrices. Now, what exactly is a matrix? A matrix is simply an array of numbers organized into rows and columns. And first, let's talk about the order of a matrix. So consider matrix A, and let's say it has the numbers 2, 7, -4, 6, 3, and 5. What is the order of this matrix? Now, this matrix has 2 rows and 3 columns. Now, the rows are horizontal, so this is the first row and this is the second row. The columns are vertical. This is the first column, second, third. So there's 2 rows and 3 columns. So this is considered a 2 by 3 matrix. The order of the matrix lists the rows first and then the number of columns. Now, you need to be able to identify a specific element in a matrix. For example, what is element 2, 3? Or sometimes it can be written as just element A23. So this is in matrix A, and the first letter represents the row, the second letter is the column. So this is the first row, this is the second row. This is the first column, second column, third column. So this element, number 5, is in the second row, third column. So element A23 has a value of 5. Now, here's another one for you. What's element A12 and also element A21? Go ahead and identify the value of these elements. So element A12, that's in the first row, second column. So that has a value of 7. Element A21 is in the second row, first column, and so that has a value of 6. Let's consider another matrix. So let's say if we have matrix B, and it has the numbers 4, 3, 7, -2, 5, 6, -4, 9, -3, 8, 1, and -7. What is the order of the matrix? So let's start with the rows. This is row 1, row 2, row 3. And then the columns. Column 1, 2, 3, 4. So the order of matrix B, it's a 3 by 4 matrix. It has 3 rows and 4 columns. Now, identify elements B11, B23, B14, and B34. Go ahead and identify these 4 elements. So this one is in the first row, first column. So that has a value of 4. Element B23, that is in the second row, third column. So that has a value of -4. And then element B14 is in the first row, fourth column. So that's equal to -2. And element B34 is in the third row, fourth column. So it has a value of -7. So you need to be able to determine the order of the matrix and the value of every or any element in the matrix. So what I'm going to do at this point is I'm going to give you a list of matrices, and I want you to identify the order of each matrix. So let's say if we have matrix C and it has the numbers 3, -5, 2, -1. And then we have matrix D, which contains the elements 4, 5, -2, 7, 3, and -6. And then we have matrix E, which contains one number, which is 8, matrix F is going to have 7, 4, -5, and 11. And let's say matrix G has the numbers 3, 1, 7, 2, 6, -4, 9, 0, 3. So identify the order of each matrix. Go ahead and try that. Let me just give you one more. Matrix H, which is going to be 2, 1, 7, -3, 6, -2, 5, and 4. And also determine which of these matrices represents a square matrix. So let's start with matrix C. It has 2 rows and it has 2 columns. So therefore, it's a 2 by 2 matrix. Now, this is a square matrix because the number of rows and columns are the same. In a square, all sides are the same. Now, for matrix D, we have 3 rows and 2 columns. So this is going to be considered a 3 by 2 matrix. So the order of the matrix is always going to be the number of rows times the number of columns. Now for matrix E, it has 1 row and 1 column. So because it only has one number, it's a 1 by 1 matrix. Now for H, there are 2 rows and there's 4 columns. So this is a 2 by 4 matrix. And then for F, we have 1 row and there's 4 columns. So that's a 1 by 4 matrix. And finally, the last one, G, that's another square matrix. As we can see, there's 3 rows and it has 3 columns. So that's a 3 by 3 matrix. So now you know how to determine the order of the matrix, and you also know how to identify the elements within a matrix. Now let's focus on adding matrices. So let's say if we have matrix A and it has the numbers 2, 3, 5, -4. And we have matrix B, which is 7, 4, -3, and 5. What is the sum of matrix A and B? So if we're adding those two matrices, all we need to do is add the corresponding elements. And by the way, if you have a 2 by 2 matrix, you can only add it to another 2 by 2 matrix. The number of rows and columns must be the same when adding matrices, or subtracting matrices as well. So the first element, the one in the first row, first column, we need to add it with element B11 in the first row and the first column. They have to match. So this is going to be 2 plus 7. And then we need to add these two. So in the first row, second column, is going to be 3 plus 4. And then we're going to add those two numbers. So that's going to be 5 plus -3. And these two numbers, which are in the second row, second column, the result will remain in that position, second row, second column. Now, 2 plus 7 is 9. 3 plus 4 is 7. 5 plus -3 is 2. -4 plus 5 is 1. So this is the sum of matrix A and B. And that's a simple way to add two matrices together. It's not very complicated. Now let's say if you want to multiply matrix A by 4. What will you get? 4 times A, all you need to do is multiply every element by 4. So it's going to be 4 times 2, 4 times 3, 4 times 5, and 4 times -4. So then 4A is going to equal 8, 12, 20, and negative 16. So what about subtracting two matrices? Let's subtract matrix A and B. So we're going to start with A and then subtract it by B. So it's going to be 2 minus 7, 3 minus 4, 5 minus negative 3, and then negative 4 minus 5. So A minus B, that's going to be 2 minus 7, which is negative 5. 3 minus 4 is negative 1. 5 minus negative 3, or 5 plus 3, that's 8. Negative 4 minus 5 is negative 9. And so that's the difference between the two matrices. And that's it for this video. If you want to find more videos on pre-cal, feel free to check the description section of this video. I'm going to post some links there. So thanks again for watching.